To give a talk about myself for 4 to 6 minutes. I found that rather daunting, the time frame kind of daunting to try to cover everything. I wish I would have known a little bit more about Jacques' introduction stuff, but I think I covered probably far too much in the introduction that I gave, and twice as much as I should have. And didn't end on a light note, which is the other thing. But when looking at what I wanted to talk about, thinking about myself, I looked at what the Toastmasters' values are. And they have 4 values that they state in the beginning of the book, and it talks about integrity, respect, service, and excellence. So I figured today all I would talk about is the things that I've done in service to my community and to wherever I've lived, and talk about that, just because I don't have much time to cover many things. One of the things Joe mentioned that shortly after leaving computing devices, I ended up with discovering I had cancer. And my mortality was in my face, and I had to take a good hard look at myself to see what was going on and what's of value. All of a sudden, the core values of what's important to you come to the forefront. And the 2 lessons that I learned from my family that really resonated with me at that time were integrity and service. My father had shown me a great deal of what integrity meant and demonstrated service to the community. The very first experience that I had with doing any kind of service was at the age of 16, I took on being the president of a teen club on a military base. And I had to learn how to chair things, and I was thrown into the fire right off the bat. I didn't go through any other position. I immediately became the president of the committee and started doing things. So I learned how to chair meetings. I learned about Robert's Rules of Order at a very early age and started studying that, and did it for the rest of my life and kept studying. Hopefully I mentioned. I also took on, at that time, I took on being the treasurer of the curling club at Trenton. The curling club on the base of Trenton in those days was world renowned for the quality of curlers they put out. It was a great experience. It was a huge club. So I learned how to handle the books and do some service in that way. The next level of service that I ended up taking on was when I was I went to CIL in Toronto, and they had a union there. They were with the United Steelworkers of America. And I knew nothing about them, but I don't judge before I hear a lot of first-hand or third-hand anecdotes about what a union is. Well, I didn't listen to any of it. I said, I'm going to find out what this means. I had no idea. My dues are going there. I went to find out what was going on. So I took off, and within a few months, I became a union steward, and I got very actively involved with doing union service with the steelworkers, including running elections and international elections and things. One of the things I found out at that time, you don't get paid for most union work. Union reps can do it. So it's a volunteer service position. And a little later on, I was to discover that for a sensitive person like myself, it's a really kind of almost a dumb thing to be doing, because there's nobody more judged than union representatives in places, including by your own membership, and it's always a negative judgment. Nobody's ever happy with what the union does. It was kind of a stupid place to be in, but I got to learn a lot of stuff. Eventually, I ended up coming to Ottawa after I graduated from electronic engineering to work at computing devices. And the first thing I got involved with there was the social committee. And one of the things I like about doing that kind of service work is that you end up hanging around a lot of people that are of like mind. And while there, I ended up also getting into, I was invited to participate in an RIP program, a relationship improvement program, where there was 13 of us from both management and 13 from the membership of the association. We went to Gananoque Lane. We had a hug them off and feel good session on how to do things. While there, I also became the vice president of the association and a negotiator, and I became the president of the association for a year, and also chaired about. At one time, I sat as a chair or a pro tem on 36 different committees. The other thing that happened after I got cancer was that I discovered that I had a number of addiction problems to deal with, and I ended up joining a bunch of 12-step programs where I still volunteer as chair of many committees, subcommittees. I sponsor a lot of people. I work at I do a general secretary position at a retreat for people that are trying to recover from addictions, and I deal with all that, and I continue to take the volunteer service thing. I think it's still the only reason I'm clean and sober today after 20 plus years is because offer service to try and help other people, because on my own I wouldn't have been able to do that. To kind of summarize everything else, there was a lot more to talk about, but we're run out of time. Kind of summarizes one of the principles I found of what service is all about is the principle of altruism. And altruism means that we perform service for no reward or payment.
Thank you, Chad.